How to send emails with a simple Java program. In this lesson, we'll be learning to develop a Java program that sends email. To be more accurate, I've used Java Mail API of Java Enterprise Edition platform. Alright. Hey everyone, welcome to ALB programming lesson. In the following video, we'll be learning to develop such a Java program that will run and send an email, and another email client will receive it. If you're confident in your programming skill and have access to a certain email server, you're good to download the source code I've used in this course. The link is in the description. No payment or registration is required. Alright, due to simplicity, I've kind of oversimplified and divided the whole system into 3 parts. The sender will send the email to the email server, and the email server delivers the mail to the recipient. In this lesson, we will simulate all 3 parts in one virtual machine. Alright, let's get started from the sender. It's actually the core part of the lesson. It's written in Java and I've uploaded the source code to the public. Alright, this is the one that sends email, and one of these 2 will help you set up the email server almost instantly, which otherwise might cause you to spend hours and hours to learn. Let's download the email sender. Choose Save File and click OK. Download's finished. Click this button, and the file manager will point you to the downloaded file. Here is it. Let's unzip the file. This folder contains all the necessary Java project files, which we're going to import into the Eclipse. So let's turn Eclipse on. Let's keep the workspace as default and launch. Alright, this is where we left off in the previous lesson. My Eclipse IDE is under the debug mode. In order to import the new project and list it here as before, we need to quit the debug mode. To do that, we go to Window and Perspective, and click the Close Perspective. But some beginners might accidentally click this Close All Perspective, like me, and end up with this. Looks pretty scary, doesn't it? Well, if this happens, we can go to Window, go to Perspective, open Perspective, and click Other. You can choose either Java or Java EE and click Open. Alright, here I have my Project Explorer that will show the Send Email project. Now we can go to File and Import. Find the General, under which find out the existing projects into Workspace, and click Next. Then we need to click on this Browse and navigate to the downloaded file. Make sure to select the project. Just to stay organized, select the Copy Projects into Workspace and click Finish. This is the sender part. Let's see what we've got here. This one sends an ordinary text email, while this one sends attachment and text. We can actually compare their differences. Select both of them. Right-click, go to Compare With, and Each Other. Then the differences will be highlighted here. Left side is the sendemail.java file. The right side is the other file, the one having something to do with the attachment. Double click on the tab to get a larger view. You can scroll through the file and notice the difference being highlighted. Okay, I'm going to explain the content of one of the source files. I'm going to close the comparison window. Let's see this one. It's easier. Alright, in the real world situation, you will be provided with an email server. You need to replace this by the IP address of your email server. You need to replace this port as well. This line should not change, as you are required to log in most of the time. Wait a second, let's get a larger editor. Moving on, this line specifies the login information, the user, the password. At the next few lines, you tell the program the recipients of the email. This is the sender address and has to be consistent with the login user. At the next line, we're attaching the recipients that we have specified above. The recipients can be to or CC or BCC. Remember, we're attaching the recipients. If we don't attach the recipients, though we have specified them, the program will not do the job or throw an error. Then go to the email subject and email text. After all that, the program will send the email out, which is done by this line. However, before running the program, we need an email server and recipients who are able to receive your mail. If you're working in a company, you probably gotten access to an email server whose IP address and port you can ask your coworkers. If not, you can use a simulator of email server that I'm gonna give you. Alright, you can go to the same site and find out this one. It works only if you're using the virtual machine that I introduced to you in the first lesson. If you're using other Ubuntu virtual machine, you've got to use the other simulator, and you might have to do some troubleshooting on your own. So to save yourself from frustrations and be on the same page as me, follow the first lesson, set up the virtual machine and download this simulator. You won't be asked to pay, nor do you have to submit any personal information. Save file, click OK. Locate the downloaded file. Here's it. Unzip the file. Alright, everything together in this folder will help you install the email server into the virtual machine. Well, don't be intimidated by all these files and folders. Soon you will find out how simple the installation process is. But just to play it very safe, I encourage you to back up your virtual machine. How to do it? Follow me. First of all, let's turn off the computer, the virtual computer. Shut it down. On the user interface of the VirtualBox application, select your machine and click the File menu. In the future, if something goes wrong to your virtual computer, you can restore it with this Import Appliance feature. But to make a backup, let's click Export Appliance. Then click Next. Leave everything as default, but remember this path. Click Next. Keep it as default as well, and click Export. Well, this is gonna take a while. I'll speed up the video. By the way, it usually takes less than 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. Alright, backup is completed. In the future, if you mess things up, you can simply right-click on the virtual machine and remove and delete all files. But now, let's not do it. Finally, make sure you know where your backup is located. In my case, it is here. Alright, this is a subtopic of the lesson. Let's get back to the email server setup. Turn on a virtual machine. Log in. Alright, let's set up the email simulator. Let's find out the files that we've downloaded before backing up the machine. It's here. Go into this folder. Alright, I've written a script that will automatically operate and interact with these files in a proper order. All we need to do is run that magical script with a couple of simple commands. So right-click on the blank area and click on the Open in Terminal. We type commands here. So another good news is that those simple commands we're going to type lives in this text file named helpfulscripts.txt. Just double-click to open it. The command to run is here. Select the first line and copy it. Paste it into your terminal. Hit the enter button. Type the password. By the way, when you are typing, nothing will indicate that you are typing, and you will not see stars and asterisks or bullet points. Alright, hit the enter button. Before running this command, I've logged in the terminal at this user, ALB. After running this command, when you run the remaining commands, you will not get the errors like permission denied or access denied or something like that, because those commands from now on will be executed by this root user. Next, we will run this script. How to do that? We type another command. But before running any command, let's develop a habit to check current working directory. What do I mean by that? Let's look at the string text here. You can notice it is consistent with this path. See? This means the current working directory is what I expect, and I can execute the script without worry. So to execute the script, we can run this command in the terminal. Let's copy it, paste it, enter. Normally, you'll be presented with this screen. What if otherwise? I'll tell you in a separate video. Well, in normal case, at this screen you'll have to click OK to continue, but you can't use mouse. Instead, press the Tab key on your keyboard. Then hit the enter button. Here I keep everything as default and hit the enter button. The same with here. Enter. Now wait for it to finish. Alright, perfect. Well, if things didn't go smooth, these couple of commands might help you. At this point, I already have installed the email simulator and have this domain ready. To verify whether this domain works, I'm gonna run this command, copy it, paste it, enter. Alright, it's working. Here's the response time. Now to stop these endless responses, I press Ctrl and C at the same time. Like this. Or like this. Well, the control key is kind of conflicting with the VirtualBox configuration. You can use other control key, but for me it's kind of awkward. I have only one control key. So I have to change some settings. I'm gonna change the host key to something else. It should work. Alright, let's verify the other domain. So far so good, everything is good. It means I can use this email address from now on. Why don't we try it? Alright, if you're using a copy of my virtual machine, you have a Thunderbird mail. If not, you have to install it on your own. Let's search applications. You will probably see it here. If not, please search it. Here's it. It's opening up. Here's the welcome screen. Close it. Let's add our new email address to the Thunderbird. Click this hamburger icon. Hover your mouse cursor to the preferences and click account settings. It's not very intuitive, but click this account actions. Click this button. Fill in the form. Fill in the email address. The password is Java. Like this. And click continue. Now it's gonna take a while. If it takes too long, like 10 minutes, you can try restarting the virtual computer and try again. Alright, no errors, no exceptions. That's good. Let's click the done. And here's the scary part. This red warning message is popping up because I didn't do any encryption for the email server, for the simplicity. Encryption doesn't matter as long as you are not running it in a live environment. So, tick this I understand the risk and click done. After a while, we successfully set up the Thunderbird, which will act as a receiver in our simulation. Click OK. Speaking of Thunderbird, you can not only receive mails, but also we can send mails. Let's see if we can send a mail to ourselves. Click this right. The receiver is going to be myself. Title or subject, hi from ALB. Then click the send button. Alright, when you use Thunderbird for the first time, you will come across this warning message, which also has something to do with encryption. Make sure it is ticked and click this confirm security exception. Then what you may not know is click the Thunderbird icon. Here's an error message. Don't let it hide in the behind. Click OK. And click the send button again. Then you'll observe a new folder named Sent. When you go to the inbox, you'll see a new email from myself, from me, to me. Great! Now we're almost ready to run the whole simulation. Why don't we open the Eclipse? Keep the workspace as default and launch. Alright, this is a mail sender program that I'm gonna run. This is a sender. This is a receiver. This is a subject. This is a text body. Wait. At this moment, I don't have such a sender. Let's add it to our email server with this command. Copy it. Alright, we're going to run this script to add user, just for your info. Paste it. Enter. Alright, this email address is added. Okay, it's time to run the sender. Alright, email sent. If we go to the Thunderbird, refresh the inbox, here's a new email from the Java program. From this to this. Actually, this is pretty much it. Well, besides all above, I also want you to try out the other similar program. I mean this one. Email sent. And here's the notification as well. Back to the Thunderbird. We can see the preview of the attachments. This is a preview of the text file attachment. Attachment 1. Attachment 2. Okay, apart from what we've covered in this video, I invite you to learn some other skills. The first one is about the email server. You can add more users. Try sending to more of them. Also, learn to manually set up email server. Second of all, study the Java code of this lesson. Try with different senders. Try with more receivers. Remember to change this number. Try CC and BCC. Try different subjects and text. Try to remove or add more attachments. Figure out what this code does. That's it. Hope you've learned something. Thanks for watching. The next lesson is going to be a great one as well. I'll see you there. Peace.